You do it without even thinking about it. You catch your reflection in the phone, a window you're passing on the street, maybe the wrong angle in the bathroom mirror. And before you think about it, the question pops into your mind, do I still look good? And even though it's a small question, it's loaded with power. Are you really asking, am I still relevant? Do I still matter? Am I disappearing? I want to tell you something today. You've been asking the wrong question, not just today, but for years. And the moment you swap it out for a better question, everything you think and see about yourself will change. The question you should be asking is, do I look like myself? Stay with me, because I think by the end of this video, you'll stop bracing against the mirror and start recognizing the woman in it again. Here's what the world has been selling you ever since you turned 40, and that is that aging is a fight, that you're supposed to be holding on to your youth, fixing things that have changed. Every ad, every product, every magazine or internet article frames the second half of your life as a defense operation, you against time. And by the way, I hate to tell you, but time is undefeated. That's the preservation trap, and it's called a trap for a reason. Think about what preservation actually says to you. It takes your 30-year-old face, you know the one I mean, the wrinkle-free one in the old photos, and it takes that face and it designates it as your finish line. That's the standard. That's the thing you're trying to get back to. But here's the truth, that these products don't put on the packaging. That face doesn't exist anymore, and it never will again. So you've signed up for a game where the goalpost is behind you and you're running backwards, getting more tired and more frustrated with every year. And the cost isn't just money, although that's a lot of it. The real cost is emotional. Every time you see a line, anxiety sets in. You can spend the next 30 years of your life like that, and some women do, or you can put the question down. So let's look at the two questions side by side. Do I still look good? Compared to who? When you ask that question, you're always comparing yourself to something or someone outside of yourself. A past version of yourself, somebody in the commercial, maybe a friend who doesn't look her age. You're handing the verdict over to a panel that was never going to give you a perfect score. Now let's look at the other question. Do I look myself? The difference? That one doesn't measure you against anyone. It measures you against yourself. It asks whether the woman you see matches the woman you feel inside, whether your outside and your inside are telling you the same story. And that's a question you can honestly answer yes to. Let me tell you about a woman I think you'll recognize. She's a friend of mine, Susan. We'll call her Susan. It's not a real name. But Susan has spent her entire 40s and most of her 50s, pretty much all her 50s, buying and trying every product, procedure, pill, whatever was offered, hoping to look 30 again. She was searching for something that was gone and feeling the loss over and over again when the latest and greatest didn't work. Then one day, she stopped chasing just long enough to look. Not looking at the old Susan, but at the real one. You know, the one with the laugh lines from a genuinely funny life. The one whose eyes were softer and wiser than they had been at 30. And the first time in 15 years, almost 20 years, she saw herself differently. She didn't see herself as old or wrinkled. She saw herself as her. I remember her telling me this. This is where I got this idea. It was such a big realization to her. That's the shift from searching for who you are to recognizing who you are. Now, I want to be honest with you. This isn't about pretending nothing has changed. Of course it's changed. But let's talk about what the changes actually mean, because I think you've been told the wrong story. First, here's some permission you have to give yourself. Your hair, your face, your figure. None of it has to apologize for time having passed. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your gray, and you don't have to justify a wrinkle. You're allowed to redefine right now what beauty means for you today in your life. Second, I want you to recognize the difference between two words, care and correction. Care comes from a good place. You do your hair, you moisturize, you put on makeup. You do all these things because they make you feel good, because you love it, because you enjoy it. Correction comes from a different place entirely. It whispers that something's wrong and that you have to fix it. Same makeup, same moisturizer, same lipstick, but a completely different relationship with the woman applying it. One of the most powerful things you can do after 50 is to move everything out of the correction column to the care column. And the third one is the big one. Those wrinkles, that gray, that softness, reframe it. They are not a list of repairs. They're evidence. Evidence of every meal you laughed through, of every night you stayed up crying with your best friend's divorce. They're every year you actually showed up and lived. A face with no history is a face that hasn't been anywhere. Yours has been everywhere. Right. Let's make this practical because a reframe only happens if you can live with it. Here are 4 things you can start doing. Then the first thing is to audit your routine. Go through everything you do to your skin, your hair, your body, and ask yourself, does this come from fear or from joy? Are you doing it because you're genuinely scared of what will happen if you stop? Or are you doing it just because it makes you feel good? You'll be surprised how many things are running on fear. Keep the joy, eliminate the fear. Number 2, dress for who you are now. Not for the woman who was 25 and not for the catalog of styles that tell you what a 55-year-old woman should wear. The styles that make you feel like you today may be different than what you were wearing 10, 20, maybe even 5 years ago. That's evolution. So dress for the woman who you are today. Number 3, choose practices that make you feel more visible, not invisible. Here's a quiet test for any beauty routine. Does it make you feel more like yourself, or does it make you feel like you're hiding? The goal was never to erase yourself into something blank and ageless. The goal is to feel more like you. Turn the volume up on you, not down. Number 4, curate your inputs. This one is huge. Look at who you follow on social media. Look at what you scroll by every morning. If your feed is full of filtered faces and anti-aging panic, you're feeding the old question every day. Unfollow what makes you feel behind. Follow women who look like they're enjoying being exactly their age. I can think of one in particular you could follow, and that's Nikol Johnson. That's Nikol with a K. I'm going to link her channel in the description below. She does makeup for women 50 and over, and she doesn't believe in covering it all up. She believes in accentuating what you already have. That's the kind of person you should be following. You become the conversation when you follow women like her. So here's the real truth I promised you from the beginning. Beauty after 50 is so much better. It's about fully being you. Undiluted, unapologetic, the most complete version that has ever existed. Let me tell you, it actually reads as beautiful at any age, and it's not smooth skin, and it's not hair. It's confidence. It's a woman who's at home in herself. You've met her, the woman who walks into a room and you can't quite look away. It's got nothing to do with her age. Her presence can't be bought. It doesn't exist in a jar of anti-aging cream. It cannot be injected. It can only be grown in the soil you're standing in right now. And there's a freedom that comes with this. It's the freedom of no longer performing for an audience that wasn't going to applaud anyway. So I'll leave you with the swap that started all of this. Stop asking the mirror, do I still look good? And start asking, do I look like myself? And then go and become more of her every day. What's your truth about beauty for women over 50? Love to hear it in the comments below. Please, if you have an opportunity, subscribe, and thanks for the chat.